Right, we're live. 1 out of 2, 2 out of 2. 2 out of 2. Well, I think that says sending data actually. Give me a second. We're not 2 out of 2. 2 out of 2. Right, we're live on Twitch and we're live on YouTube. Okay, so I'm just going to dive straight into it, not wait for anyone, because people can rewatch the VODs for this anyway. So I've just updated Windows to the very latest cumulative update preview, which is for 2509, so September basically. That's the preview for what's coming up in the next one. So that's why you kind of get the cumulative update for September, and then you get a preview one, which is the preview for basically the next one that's coming in October. So that's just applied. I've rebooted, so I've saved you guys having to sit through a reboot because that takes ages on my computer because it retrains the memory and that takes a long time. So I'm going to try and reboot as little as possible. So Windows is now updated. So what I'm going to do next is now I'm up to date. There's a little tick box here. You can pause for a maximum of 5 weeks. Now make sure that when you're gaming, you're not having to run updates in the background and you don't get any FPS drops because of it. So stick that on the maximum that you can typically. And then when you want to run updates, you can just run them manually. No big deal. All right, so but now we've got a full fat Windows cumulative update. Now we need to debloat it. So that's the first step to do. So I'm going to run Chris Titus Tech Tool to debloat it. Chris does a wonderful tool. Debloats Windows for you, and it's very, very useful. So we're also going to run, I'm going to check, the CTT tool does a very good option for upgrade all applications. It will go away and check what's on your computer and see if there's any new updates. That didn't have any, so it went straight through. But if it did find any updates for like band control or processor SU or something, it would then update them for you. So we're going to go straight into debloating now. All right, let's maximize that as much as I can. You guys can see. Right, so you click on standard. That does a load of presets here. And then you want to extra tick disable recall. You definitely don't want that. Debloat Brave, debloat Edge. If you've never done that one before, you can do that one as well. PowerShell 5 to 7. And then you want Adobe debloat, disable IPv6, prefer IPv4 over IPv6. Disable Teredo, disable background apps, skip the disable full screen optimizations. You want those, they're good. Disable Copilot. If you've got an Intel, you can tick that one, but I don't, so you can tick it either way, I suppose. Disable notifications, disable Windows platform binary table, set display to performance, although you want to double check that everything's not blurry after you do this one, so we can. So I'll show you what this one does. All that one does is it sets these conditions here. So you probably just want those 3. The smooth edges to screen fonts is one it sometimes resets. I might skip that one for now. Set classic right click menu. I like that one, and then stop there. You don't need any other ones below, unless you want to remove OneDrive and you get annoying Razer software installs that pop up all the time if you're running a Razer mouse or keyboard or something. So they're the ones that you want to tick, and then you run tweaks. And that'll look like it's not doing anything, but it is actually doing something if you go over to the Win Utilities. Right, let that one go through. And then after that, we're going to run the O&O shutter. We'll remove a load of telemetry and stuff as well. So after we've done all this Windows updates, debloat, rerun my script, just to make sure nothing's got overwritten, We'll then move on over to doing the Nvidia GPU drivers that literally came out 45 minutes ago. So there's new drivers to test. This often gets a bit stuck on the disk cleanup. Takes a bit of time for that one for some reason. So yeah, I pre-downloaded the driver as well from the link because I don't think it'll be part of NV Clean Store yet. So you can get the link either going to the Nvidia Discord or my Discord in the PC tuning chat that has an auto notification for when new drivers come out and a link that you can specifically download the full one. We'll use that as the basis for NV Clean Store. We'll point NV Clean Store at it, and then we can strip it down and install that. Wow, this is taking its time, isn't it? Hey, Jeppo, Harry. Clean install on newest Windows update. It's the newest Windows update. We've just started with we've just done the September preview. What we've just done the 09 cumulative update preview. So I'm just re-debloating again now. So that's done. Tweaks are finished. All right, so we can run O&O shut up next. I normally go with the yellow one. Yeah, create a restore point, but we just did one a minute ago with this. I'm not going to keep doing restore points constantly. And then once you've applied the yellow one, I normally put microphone up here, and then untick camera and microphone for both the current user and the local machine. That will let you still use your microphone, and it will still let you use the camera. Allow access to those devices. So leave those. There's nothing you have to apply here. Once they're toggled, you can just close. We're done. All right. On the right, I often change these, but they get changed back all the time. Take off Bing, take off Snap Assist, but always keeps coming back. Leave MPO on. Don't need search button, don't need task view button, don't need widgets, and you can leave those too. And you don't need the cross device resume. So that's all those done. But as I say, they have a tendency of coming back. So once you've done this, you're done in here. The other one to look at is App Buster to stop Windows apps coming back. Have I got App Buster in here? Where would I put that? I've got App Buster somewhere. It's not an install, it's a... I suppose I can just go and get the latest version if I don't have it. O&O, shut up, SNO&O, App Buster. There we go, download that. Yeah, I did have it. It's just called OOAP. Let open that. On that. It's running as administrator already. So yeah, sometimes I normally do group by type. So you got desktop apps and you got Windows apps, system apps, all separate. Framework apps. So you can go through here and you can see kind of recommendations whether they think you should remove them. These sometimes get put back on with cumulative updates. So just go through the list and see if anything's come back that you didn't want. Some things you are unremovable. You can't take them away. Everything in this section is unremovable. We got, what have we got? Nothing back. O&O App Buster is quite good at keeping them off as well. So once they're taken away, it then doesn't typically come back. The IO bit uninstaller, they often do come back, whereas the App Buster is quite good at stopping them coming back. Can't see anything in that list. There's a couple of optional ones here where it says optional, but nothing critical that's going to affect performance there at all. So I think we're good. Excuse me. I think we're good there. Can't see anything I don't want. No, good to go. Right, so next we need to, why have I got 81? We need 82. Seriously not got 82? Go and grab 82 from the Discords. Right, download 82. Why I haven't got 82 on here? There we go. Correct all. I think what I'll do is I will move that to my data partition so both operating systems can access it easily. And I think what I'll do is I'll pin that to quick access. So I have a quick way of getting to it all the time. All right. So 82, my latest pack. Everything fine there. Yeah. So Windows, tweaks, and then just run the main menu. And that's administrator. And then do A for all. Again, we've done loads of restore points already, so I don't need to do one. But if you were just running it for the first time, definitely do a restore point. This can run. So as I say, I think I'll try and pin this to YouTube so people can come back and watch it from the beginning. Because I'm constantly asked, what do I do after a Windows update, Alex? What do I do after a Windows update, Alex? So I want a video guide on what to do after a Windows update. Done. Right, they're all done. Quit that. Right, that's Windows done. So Windows is now up to date, debloated, and anything that could have potentially got reset, I've reapplied from my tweak pack. So we are done with Windows now. Next step is to update Nvidia drivers. So we've, as I say, we've already downloaded the latest one. Here it is, the 581.42. So what we're going to do is going to feed that into MV clean install. Yum, yum, yum. Feed it in. So because it won't be in the list yet. Look, see the latest one, it's got 2.9. So it hasn't updated yet. So we're going to use driver files on disk. And then we're going to point to it. 581.42. Anyone? Once we've pointed to it, we can go next. Recommended. Next. I'll also build a pre-package as well, so we can run it again if we need to at some point, or go back to a previous one. So I'll create a pre-stripped down driver file that we can just double click and rerun whenever we want. All right, so use previous settings. So these are the settings I normally use. Disable, only do this one if you don't watch like Netflix on your PC. If you watch Netflix, you need that on. Then we need to specify the processes for the interrupts for the GPU. So I need to look up what I had before. The easiest way of doing that is using my tool that I wrote for device CPU interrupt checker. And you can see that I had previously on 6 and 7. So I need to set it to cause 6 and 7. So that will set all the GPU interrupts to go to core 6 and 7. Okay. That's that. Next. Really thirsty, sorry guys. Hydrating. And then build package, as I mentioned, I'm going to just recreate the stripped down driver file. So if we need to, we can run it again without having to go through all these steps in incl install. After this, we'll need to disable the dynamic P states for it, and we'll need to set up the Nvidia control panel. And then we should be done. Should really only be a 20-minute video, this. We're on 16 minutes so far. See if we can get it done in the next 4. Probably not. Maybe a 25-minute video. Right, so the stripped down file is then there, so we can run that anytime we want now. So we don't need that window anymore. We don't need to run it now because we've actually got the ability to run it from here. Through incl install. Yeah, if you're confused about what to do, just go back, rewatch the start of this YouTube video, and that should go through every step that you need to do. I am live on YouTube and I am live on Twitch right now. It's just removing the previous driver, which is why you've got a blank screen and I don't. Obviously, this PC has 2 monitors. It's got the monitor I'm looking at, and it's got a capture card monitor, which is what you're looking at. So when it's stripping out the driver, that's why you get a black screen. And it's preparing to install the new driver, and then you'll get a new one. And it should be back in a minute. Installing graphics driver, 30%-ish. About 40% now. Come on, Nvidia. 45%. This is the very latest driver that came out 59 minutes ago. Here we go, install complete. So that's all done, got the new driver on here. So we'll still need to set up the Nvidia control panel, but the brand new driver should be on here. 581.42 came out about an hour ago. All right, so we'll need to reset all this up. So let's start from the beginning. So go to the top there, click on adjust the image settings for preview. And then set the preset performance. That'll do a load of these. Change a load of those there, the performance. But then we are going to want to fine tune it. So we then choose the middle one. And then we go manage 3D settings, and then we go through the list. So we turn off gamma correction. We are our OpenGL rendering GPU, we set to our dedicated GPU. Power management, we prefer maximum performance. Preferred refresh rate, always highest available. Driver cache unlimited. Texture quality, high performance. That should be it. You see anything about VSync in here being on? Turn that rubbish off. You never, ever, ever want VSync. All right, all done. Apply all that. Okay, so configure surrounds. You want to select your dedicated GPU. Right, change resolution. You want Nvidia color. Apply that. Make sure your resolution is the native one for your monitor, where it says native. Always want that native. The lowest latency native. You ideally want override to reference mode. That stops a load of color correction, which obviously has an overhead. So again, lowest latency. That reduces latency by a whole 1 millimeter. One millisecond. 1 millisecond override to reference mode. That's worth ticking. If you don't like the colors after it's done that, change the colors on the physical monitor itself. Right, rotate display, don't need anything in there, don't need anything in there, don't need anything in there. Right, adjust desktop size and position. Sorry if it's loud outside, somebody's got a leaf blower. You want perform scaling on the display. If you don't have that option, then just leave it, but ideally on the display. And you want to override the scaling mode as well. So you want no scaling on the display and override. The 3 you want there. So I've got my cloned monitors, so you can see what's going on. That's my capture card. That's my main monitor, so they're cloned. Then you want full color for the video, and then you want Nvidia settings on the image settings, and then you should be done. One extra thing to do if you are cloning monitors. When you clone monitors, you have to have the same resolution on both of the monitors that you clone, but you can have different hertz, so basically different FPS on the 2 different monitors, but they must be the same resolution. So 1080p, 1080p, 1440p, 1440p. They must be the same. But ideally, on that second monitor that you want the lowest hertz possible, so your GPU is doing as little extra work as it needs to. So if I go to advanced display options here and I select my capture card, by default, excuse me, it's outputting 144 hertz. Now I'm only streaming to you guys effectively at 60 hertz, so I'm sending more FPS effectively to that capture card than I need to be. So if I drop that down to the closest thing to 60 FPS, then I'm only then outputting that lower workload to the Elgato capture card, and then you are getting that from the streaming PC. So you guys don't need more than 60 hertz, 60 FPS. So just stick with that. That does significantly make a difference to your FPS on your main gaming monitor. So it's worth lowering it as much as I can, as much as you can. Right, so that's done. So the only thing extra we still need to do is do the disabled dynamic P states. And the only thing you need to double check in here is that the path is correct for the disabling the dynamic power states for your GPU. You just need to make sure that that path there points to your dedicated GPU, not your integrated GPU, if you haven't already turned it off in the BIOS. So if I do reg, copied that path already, in there. Right, so that path there, it's the same as that path there. And then if you go and find description down here, driver description, you can double check that it's your dedicated GPU, not your integrated GPU as part of your CPU. So if you've got more than one folder here, like 0001, then you need to make sure that you're pointing at your dedicated GPU, not your integrated one. So you're just setting the disabled dynamic P state, which by default is not in here. You'll see it's not listed, so you have to add it. So that is the correct place. So I can just double click the registry file and it will add it. And actually, I'll go back and show you it's been added. Disable dynamic peak state. So there it is now. Sorry, it's talking. So that will kick in next time we reboot. So we've updated the drivers, we've stripped them, we've set the disabled dynamic P states. These days I'm not doing anything with the Nvidia Profile Inspector. Nothing should have changed for MSI mode stuff. These should all be on for me because they're either all listed as MSI supporting modes or they're already negative IRQs. So I can tick all of those. And that's fine. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we've still got the GPU now interrupting and only on CPU cores 6 and 7. So that moves all the interrupts away from core 0, which pretty much all of Windows uses. So you don't get the bottleneck. So it it spreads out the interrupts and helps reduce the overall latency because it's spreading the load. That's done. Yeah, and as I say, I'm not doing anything in the Nvidia Profile Inspector because I'm just letting it manage the resizable bar. I'm letting it manage the pre-rendered frames. I think that's much healthier that way at the moment, how things are set up with at least Fortnite anyway. And that should be it. So we should just be able to reboot now, and that should have all kicked in. Thanks, this is a reboot. As I say, my memory retrains every time I reboot, so it takes a while. And how long did that take? So it took under 30 minutes to update Windows, re-debloat it with CTT, reapply my scripts just in case anything had got reset with the Windows update. Then we moved on to the latest Nvidia drivers. We downloaded the file, and then we used MV cleanstall to strip down the file, take out bits of the drivers that we didn't need, like telemetry. Then we've applied disabled dynamic power states to it. We've reset up the control panel, and yeah, half an hour. That should take you max. Do all that. Now, sometimes that does complain RTSS that it couldn't rehook. If you just reboot, that will fix that. Shouldn't be an issue, really. And then typically after I've done a Windows update, just double check that everything looks about right in Lenzimon, everything looks right about in Benchmate. I can re-benchmark as well in CapFrameX on my other dual boot system, and but that needs updating as well, I think. So we'd need to update that too. I'll wait till this gets to 2.5 minutes, and then I'll check the stats for everything quickly. Only a minute so far. Right, 30 more seconds or so, and then I'll crank up some bench tests just to see everything, that make sure Microsoft haven't messed any performance up anywhere. And then I suppose we could, suppose I could do the same again on my other dual boot environment. I could update the drivers too on there, I suppose. Good point. Let me move this to E, and I can run it from the other environment. Anything else? I think so. All right, 2.5 minutes. Should be fine. Right, this should be about 1.4, 0.5-ish. Should be about 1.4, 0.55-ish. That's a little higher than it normally is. Maybe I should clean out some temp files as well. That might be worth doing, to be honest. I might do that quick. Let's run group by off, please. Let's run. Wait, where is that? Where's Clean Manager Plus? Oh, I'm looking here. There we go. Run Clean Manager Plus to clean out all the temporary directories and things. Let's. The DirectX files would have already been cleaned out from the env clean install. So if we go send local app data, and you have a look at Nvidia in here, DX cache. So these have all been cleaned out, basically. You'll have some residual ones, well, new ones from just like opening the control panel and stuff, but the really big files will all be gone. So that all gets reset when you do a clean install via env clean install. All right, that should all be done. What was the other thing I was going to do? Oh yeah, just make sure there are no extra devices that have been left over when we updated the drivers. Just make sure we've got no new drivers. I don't think we did. I think I checked this yesterday. Everything's up to date. Clean devices. So yeah, the old monitor connection there. Yeah, so it's worth us cleaning there. Right, so if I reboot now, wait another 2.5 minutes, it should be a little lower on the latency mod stats. I don't think this is necessary. I'm just being OCD. That's what I mean. I'm wondering whether I should, do you want me to go through and do my second environment, my dual boot? Check for that quickly. That way I can run a Fortnite benchmark as well to compare how it was before and how it is now. So we can run through that as well. It's just these reboots take a long time. That's the problem. They take like 2-3 minutes because of the memory training each time. I've got my memory overclocked so tightly that any kind of change in temperatures, it needs retraining again, which is why I always train on boot. Does take a while. No keyboard detected. So I changed it over to the other PC. Paul, I don't get any freezes at all. I haven't had any freezes since that one freeze I had. When was that? Weeks ago now. Weeks and weeks. And I think that was due to my big clock 2 being too high. Well, I think that was due to. Oh, not again. No, I've been running DX12. That hasn't been an issue at all. Even when I delete the cache, haven't seen that at all. Right. So that's starting up. Yeah, I don't know why this is being. And that should have redone that. Those running. Right, let's wait 2.5 minutes and then we run latency one. It should be about 1.4, the process latency. It was like 1.42, 1.43 before I just did those cleanups. And then we'll go and do the other environment. I need to double check this works as well. Which does it work on YouTube as well? Yay, it does. All right, so nearly there. These should start dropping quite quickly at about just below 2 minutes. Reds and the handles drop quite a lot. Okay, so that's pretty much started up. So we're looking for 1.40-ish. Oh, okay. Well, it was 1.40 briefly. Comes down again. There, then going back up again. Interesting. So you can see here we've got the GPU interrupts on 6 and 7 here. That's why it says DX, DirectX. So they're the GPU interrupts, and these are the moment, that's my controller interrupts. Where the ISR counts going up and up and up. I actually unplugged my controller. Oh, just about like that. That should stop going up. There you go, not touching anything, and I've unplugged the controller. The ISR count stops going up. And that's doing interrupts. Even when I'm not touching that controller, that's doing interrupts when you overclock it. Yeah, not going up anymore. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's run a benchmate. Run a benchmate. This should be about 14.8 ideally. 14.9 or 15.0, around that area. Just want to make sure that Windows 14.8. Just want to make sure that Windows Update hasn't added a load of performance issues. So just run this a couple of times just for sanity check purposes. But 14.8 is about right for me. That's normally where I'm at. 14.7, 14.8. So good that I haven't messed anything up with the scheduler. Yay. You ever see errors in this? More often than not, wide cruncher errors are CPU stability related, not memory stability related. So if you do see any errors in here, go and check your overclocks for your CPU first before you start looking at your memory overclock. If you're, mind you, if you're saying that, if you're kind of increasing the ring speed, then obviously that's part of the CPU as well. So that can affects both memory and CPU. But yeah, 14.8 looks pretty good to me. What did I was getting last night? 14.859. So that's actually a little bit quicker than what I had last night. It's a good reference to know what speed your computer should be running. So when you, if and when you ever get future problems, you can quickly run a very quick test and say, yeah, okay, there's something very wrong here. Let's kind of work out why it's doing this. Whether it's something unstable, whether your fans are clogged up with dust and the temperature's going up. So having a baseline and knowing what the performance of it should be is really, really useful. The other one to test CPU stability is Cinebench R15. That's a very good test for CPU stability. This basically is drawing a picture with the CPU instead of the GPU. Well, it's obviously using the GPU as well, but it's doing the calculations for the CPU. 3,854 is a very good score. That's about 10 more than it was yesterday. So might be some performance enhancements in the latest Windows updates. Maybe. Right. So I'm happy with that. That's my gaming environment up to date. And Windows is updated. The new Nvidia drivers that came out an hour are updated. So really, I just need to benchmark, but I don't have CapFrameX on this environment anymore because it still uses the WinRing0 driver, which Windows is flagging as vulnerable. So I only keep that available on my second environment for my dual boot. So if we reboot into, if I do MS, MS config. If we change the default for now, just to make sure I don't miss it, to my second environment, set that as the default. I've got two Windows environments on this PC. So this one is this we're in at the moment. And this is my kind of test environment. So let's set that as the default so I don't have to remember to go to that one when it comes up if I'm distracted. So let's just temporarily make this the test one the default and restart into it. So we'll update Windows on this other environment. We'll update the GPU driver on this other environment quickly. And then we'll run a CapFrameX Fortnite replay on it. And we'll compare it to how the reference one I had before, just to make sure that the Nvidia driver as well hasn't got extra bugs in it. Always worth sanity testing because everybody always asks me, "What's the new? Can I go up to the new driver, Alex?" And if I say I don't know, they don't like that. So I always have to test the new driver for everybody else. Okay. Retraining the memory again. I should probably just turn that off when I'm doing these live sessions. As I say, it takes about 3 minutes to restart. Not quick. Okay. Dual boot screen. Nice. Okay, so this is my test environment. So I have to run the WinRing0 driver in this because it's needed for a few things. It's needed for my Zen timings. It's needed for CapFrameX. So I have to use the exception on this environment, unfortunately. So they're my latest memory timings I'm running. So I'm maxing out the F clock as much as I can go. So anyway, so that's all running. So let's update Windows. Start with that. Resume updates. Did I remember to put the pause for 5 weeks on the other remote? So I'm streaming at the moment. What's up? I'm streaming. All right, so it looks like yeah, I've got to update to the same one we've got on the other environment. So that's going to take a couple of minutes. Is it worth? Is it worth doing? The other issue is every time it updates the security and the defender things, it reflags the win ring 0 and I have to add it to the whitelist again. It's annoying. Mm-hmm. 2%. Tempted to start on the yeah, this is on 82 as well. Look. This. Unpin that. Unpin. Yeah, I'm tempted to start on this, to be honest, while that's downloading. Should be okay to run at the same time. Wait, that's not the right one. It's not the right one. State modified, please. That's the one I want. No, it's the NV clean store one. Where did I put it? Definitely put it in data. Where did I put it? Okay, let's go find it. Users may downloads. There it is. Sure, I copied it into here. Apparently not. Yeah, that's going to take a little bit of time, so might as well run the Nvidia update first. Multitask. Don't think there are any epic updates. I think there are. No. No epic updates to do in this environment. That's good. Mm-hmm. 4%. Oh, you can't see. You can't see. It's taken out the old one, hasn't it? You get a black screen while this is happening. So we're back to about 45% installing graphics driver. All right, you should be back. Okay. So that's done. Okay. Double check. Yeah, 581.42. So let's set this up again. Right, performance, like that. Advanced 3D image settings, that. Gamma correction off. The OpenGL rendering GPU, the dedicated GPU, power management, max performance. Refresh rate, highest available. Limited on that one. Performance on that one. All right, that's that done. Nvidia colors. Okay, that's done. Go to reference mode. This game override. Do 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 do. Nice. That one. On that. Yeah, done. We were 6 and 7. We were only 10%. This needs to speed up. Disable WP states quick. Yeah. That should already be on 6 and 7 because I used the same pre-packaged MV clean installed strip driver package, didn't I, which already had the 6 and 7 applied. This should already be 6 and 7. It is. Why is that 10 and 11? Well, that's interesting. Okay, I can leave it on 10 and 11, but that's different to how I have my main gaming environment. I have the other one on 4 and 5 on it. Maybe I was playing with it the other day. Maybe. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? That's all good. The GPU's done and ready to go. Just waiting for this to hurry up. I'm on 21%. 21%. 22%. Exciting stuff. So yeah, GPU's done. Anything else we need to do? We can check this while we're here. While that's still going. What else can we multitask with? Scan for any new drivers. Again, I think I'm up to date on this one. Yeah, all up to date. These two were new the other day, these AMD ones. Tools, clean devices, scan. Right, so I can clean out all of that stuff. Need to be on there anymore. Okay. All right, so we're just waiting for this. Downloading 32%. My network's slow or something. I swear it was a lot quicker on my other environment. Should be all right. Should be all right. Maybe it pre-downloaded in the background to my other environment. Bum, 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 39%. What else can we do while we wait? What else can we do while we wait? Yeah, so the problem with CapFrame X with this WinRing 0 driver is, oh wait, important message. The user's missing data sensor. Until we come up with an alternative for our sensor service, the only way to get them back is adding the CapFrame X to your Windows Defender whitelist and do a new install. The file in question isn't less safe than it was all the years before. Oh, that's interesting. I've already whitelisted it though. So in security, I've already whitelisted. Allow threats. So you can see here that I've already whitelisted it. WinRing 0 is already whitelisted, so it does work now. If you look in your in your protection history, you'll see like threats blocked, and you can unblock it, but you can basically do like an allow in these for the WinRing 0 driver. Trouble is, this thing hasn't been updated since about the year 2000, which is why it's vulnerable now. That was abandoned about the year 2000, I think. It wasn't developed anymore or patched. So this is why Windows, Microsoft are now blocking this. They're now blocking it with the Defender. So you've got two options. You can either wait till the software that uses it updates to a new version that doesn't run this at all, like Porn.io, or you can just whitelist it. So in this environment, I've whitelisted it. On my main gaming environment, I've either uninstalled apps that use it, like CapFrameX, or I've updated them to the latest version, like Fan Control, that uses the Porn.io driver instead of the WinRing 0 one. So they're your two options. But as I say, I've whitelisted it, so it should be fine. So when you look at the sensors, it actually lists all the sensors out. So if you run this and it's blocking it, you won't see most of these. They'll be missing. And then when you get into game, you won't see the overlay at all because they'll be missing. So the only way to get it back is to, as I say, whitelist it for CapFrameX right now. Seems to be the only way. But the bench we will be comparing it to will be this one. So we'll after we've done the Windows update and the new driver, we'll rerun exactly the same test as this, and then we can compare it to how it was before. Make sure there are no issues with lows and things, and any huge frame time spikes, and you can just make sure everything looks good on the new drivers, new Windows. So we got our baseline here and here ready to go. 82%. Yay. $84%. $90%. Anything else I can show you on this before we go down the rabbit hole? Anything? Don't think so. Maybe we can look at hardware info. So yeah, so I found that if I turn my CPU core clock speeds down with a slightly lower BCLK, B clock, 2, then I'm actually getting better results and it's more stable now. So I've turned it down a little bit. So this was running at 5.6, it's now running at 5.58. So it's just finding that optimum spot. All right, downloading 100%. Yay. Pending install. Okay, going straight into install. 10%. My temp's looking 37 degrees centigrade for a CPU. Doing lots of work. I love that. I love that. Means you don't ever get any downclocking. You get some downclocking due to inactivity, but you never get downclocking due to temperature thermals. As soon as you start getting into like 50s and 60s, it downclocks. That's interesting. How's that going? 15%. I don't know what these are. What Cyber Power PC, who built my PC, what have they added here? They've got some kind of monitoring device in there. Interesting, interesting. And I've completely created a completely clean Windows after they gave me the PC, and it's still there. So there's definitely a device doing that, or some bit of hardware, not software. I should ask them about that. Memory temps are nice and good, nice and low. 81%. Nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. So we'll reboot, re-debloat, rerun my scripts over the top just to make sure the Windows doesn't reset anything. Restart again, test. That's the plan. Benchmark. %. 100%. But it sits there for 5 minutes now. Oh no, pending restart. All right. Let's go. Updates are underway. Yay. We did all the GPU stuff already, didn't we? I think I've forgotten anything. Restarting.
Yeah. Yo. Oh my God.
Come on. Oh, no keyboard detected yet because I'm using it on the other computer. Start that one up. Oh, more updates underway. Doesn't have to reboot again. 98% there, apparently. And yet it sits there at 100% for a long time. Interesting. Interesting. Log on there. Oh, wait, have I still got that? Still got that. That's all fine. All right. Right, so re-debloat. Here we go again. Let's re-debloat. Start with CTT. Start with CTT. Check for apps updates as well. There we go. So first things first, upgrade all applications. If we can find anything that's new. Apparently not. I set this to always do manually now, so no, that doesn't need doing. That's good. Okay, so let's go straight onto the debloat. Let's make this as big as I can for you guys to see. Come on, leave the quarter. There we go. Right, so click on standard. That'll do the presets, and then recall, brave edge, Adobe debloat, IPv6, prefer IPv4 over IP6, Torito, background apps, skip the full screen optimizations, disable Microsoft Copilot, Intel MM, notifications, binary table, performance, display performance, and right click. Stop at right click. Everything else should be fine. Run tweaks. This takes ages. Oh, you know what I should have done earlier while we were waiting? Could have checked out the new website. Make sure you check out the new website if you haven't already. I think it's quite good. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. It's always the language resource files that take all the time. Oh, those of you that have a scuff based on a PlayStation Edge or even just a PlayStation Edge controller, I recommend you running PlayStation Accessories app and updating to the latest firmware that recently came out. PlayStation Accessories. Come on, language files. Hurry up. The depeche. Debut. Beat, beat, beat. What can we do while we're waiting for that? I'm tempted to do these on this side. Yeah, don't need the Bing, don't need the snap, don't need the other snap. Definitely don't need mouse acceleration. Search button don't need, task view button don't need, widgets don't need. All of those can stay. We can also run, oh no, shut up, I think. Changes, choose the yellow option. And then go and search for a microphone. And then disable the camera and the microphone. Camera and microphone. I'm not disabling them, I'm disabling the disabling of them. Double negative. So they're enabled by disabling. Okay, so that should have done that. You can just close that. That applied immediately. Oh, that is finished. Okay, where are we up to? Disable recall. Service system manual tweaks are finished. Okay, we are done there. Right, CTD done. Then reapply my Windows tweaks. You can just go and run the main menu and do an all option. Run the main menu as administrator. Yeah. And A for all. We just created a load of restore points with the CTT, so we don't need to run another one now. Otherwise, definitely do it. We'll run those. It gets to the end, we can press spacebar. Go to the next one automatically. Guma. Let's go. Done. But we run the network one because that was quite a slow download, wasn't it, for Windows Update? Don't usually need to run the network. Right, queue for quits. Yeah, network. Do that on the other environment, so well, I changed to 82. I know you can't see behind my big head here. Nothing really particularly exciting to see. Done. Right, we've done everything. We've updated Windows, latest update. Oh, Windows updates. So that should say am I stuck in a loop again? Okay, if you ever get this and you're stuck in a loop and it says it needs to reapply again, CTT actually has a good fix for this. So run CTT. And then go into, what's it, third tab, config, and then there's reset Windows update. That does a load of stuff to kind of reset it, and then it doesn't then go into a loop every time. So useful that. Okay. So I think we're done. We rerun that. We just need to reboot. Hopefully that will be gone. any recent findings. Everything I've got is in my latest guide. Everything immediately goes into that, and my latest scripts and my latest guide. Nothing since then. It's only been like 2 weeks or something since the last one was published. Version 82. In. Hopefully we won't be stuck in a reboot loop now for Windows updates. If we are still, I'm going to rerun that CTT thing again. Interesting, with the RTSS. Got that on the other one, didn't I? Interesting. Right, are we in a reboot loop? Look. Do we have a update? No, no more reboot loop. Good. It's still saying that there though. Yeah, I'm going to rerun it again, I think. Because that CTT thing normally fixes it. Try it again. Config. Reset Windows updates. Try this again. One more time. I just want to reboot. I don't want to do the restart and update, but it's not giving me that option. Nope, it's not giving me the option, is it? Yeah, the CTT thing normally fixes this. I don't really want to have to do it manually. It's a real faff doing it manually. You have to stop 2 services. You then have to go and rename or delete like 2 folders in the core Windows component directory. Then you have to restart the services and reboot. Doing it manually is annoying. As I say, the CTT thing normally does it for you. Shouldn't affect anything for our tests. So if it's still going after this one, I'll just continue on. Let's do some testing. It doesn't seem to be doing any updates. No updates going on. Oh, did you see that though? You see that? There are a load of extra things that came up here. Did you see that? That's normally removed from by CTT. Look, Sunny. Why have I got all this back? I've got to run CTT again. rerunning it. That all should be gone. So when I did the update restart, it then reapplied the update. That's nice. So I've got to re-debloat again. Yeah. Okay. Because I can here. Oh, right. That's frustrating. Not there at the moment. Going again. This will be a bit quicker because it hasn't got to do as many language resource files as it had before. Come on, go quick. Yeah, I don't want all this bloat. Look at all that bloat. Look at all that. It's good to know though that this actually reapplies it if you have to run it. Oh, so that should be gone next time we reboot now. So let's reapply my stuff quick again. A for all. There. Come on. Right, done. Quit. I'll do the network one again. I don't know. No harm. Oh, I'm running it once more. Just in case. Right, reboot. That looked like a normal reboot. The bell, good afternoon, sir. I'm doing all right, thank you. Going through, I'm basically doing both of my dual boot environments, updating Windows and the Nvidia driver. And went fine on the gaming environment, but on the test environment, Windows seems to be in a loop. It's annoying. I'm going to ignore it in a minute. If it says to do it again in a minute, I'm just going to ignore it. Stick it on pause for 5 weeks. It's applied it, so. I'm dual streaming on Twitch and YouTube right now for this. I won't be playing any Fortnite on the stream. Just PC stuff. Right, so still no updates, that's good. No news in the bottom, even more important. See, it's still doing this. Okay, so I'm just going to stick it on pause for 5 weeks. Totally ignore it. It's applied it already, so I don't know. Doesn't seem to listen to itself. I'll fix that later. Right, so that's done, that's done. We've got the new driver on here. We just need to test. Don't we? Make sure that this is, let's get this to 2.5 minutes and then we'll run latency mon, a couple of benchmark tests, and then we'll run a Fortnite replay. So I won't be running, won't be playing Fortnite, but I'll run a replay through CapFrameX just to check that the performance is good. Give it the Alexander the Dad thumbs up. The new driver. If it's got loads of latency spikes, it will not be getting that. Be getting the thumbs down. Yeah, one of them. Or 3 of them. Okay, nearly there. You'll note that once I get to about 2.5 minutes, these threads and handles start coming down very quickly. 2,100 at the moment for the threads, 2,200, but then they'll start plummeting in a minute. That should be the point where the computer's fully started up. So 1,900. So under 2,000, we should be able to run some background latency tests quick, just to make sure we're in the right ballpark. Latency, aren't it? Make sure the ballpark is correct. So yeah, that's pretty much what we had in the other environment, 1.42 and 0.56. So they're about where they should be. So that's a good sign. Got the Nvidia drivers running on, should be on 6 and 7, I believe. These two. So all the interrupts that would normally be on CPU 0 have been moved to 6 and 7 to spread the load. Shouldn't really be, the only input devices are my mouse moving, which is why the ISR count moves only when the mouse moves. So if I stop, it should stop moving. So that looks about right. Then benchmark, let's check this is about 14.8 for Y Cruncher. And then we'll run the Fortnite replay. Hopefully this will be about 14.8, 14.9. We'll know whether Windows has messed up its scheduler or not. No, 14.8, so that's bang on. So it doesn't look like there's been any performance changes for Windows for this cumulative update. That's normally what I get, about 14.8, so that's fine. I don't really think I need to run any other tests. Right, let's run a replay. So CapFrameX, start that up. Epic Games Launcher, start that up. As I say, if you got WinRing 0 being blocking stuff, then your sensors list will basically be non-existent. There might be a couple of things up here. So you have to whitelist WinRing 0 drivers in order to keep this working, unfortunately, which is why I only have it on one environment now. So that's that. This is not started yet for some reason. So what we're going to do is basically we're going to be comparing previous result with the same replay, which I've got here, here, and here. So 2 runs. So if the new Nvidia driver is the same as this, then we know it's fine. If we start getting massive latency spikes all over the place, then we know it's not a good driver. We'll go back to the old Nvidia driver. Start it up. Should get CapFrame X overlay in the top left corner in a minute over here underneath me. Yep, which we have. If you hide me, you can see it. There we go. Me blocking it at the moment. I don't have many stats on the overlay. Rerun the bench. Temps all look good. Should be similar test conditions as the last time. Temps look about the same as before. Right, so pause that. Go to gameplay mode. T for time. 700 seconds in. That's the name of the bench. And we'll be going from there. Make sure that that's stabilized. Again, you can hide me, so make sure it's the stats are stabilized. Before you press go. Ready, steady, go.
Capture started.
It should be exactly the same test conditions as the previous runs I did not look at for MX, so it should be a direct comparison. I swear that was a person. And then somebody is moving around. Oh, Martin. It looks smooth, gotta say. I've seen gutters. Hell, I don't cheat with aim. Missing all of these. Should only need to do 1 run. Or should we? Maybe we'll need to do 2. Windows 10 is not being supported pretty much at the end of October. We've known this for years. Well, I switched to Windows 11 a very, very long time ago. Bang! 144 in the face. Go! And some toxic clapping at the end. That's what we like to see.
Capture finished.
All right, so that's the replay. That's one run. So Alt F4 that. Go and have a look, but we probably should run another one because these are new drivers and it was compiling shaders while that was running. Probably should run that twice. I suspect the first time will be a little stuttery. It's not too bad actually. Got a little one there. Comparable. Okay, let's run one more time though. Did I debloat Windows 11? Yes, we did that earlier. Twice. Well, technically 3 times. Twice on this environment because Windows updates got stuck in a loop, and once on my main gaming environment. It's my test environment. So if you want to watch all the steps that I did, go back to the start of this video and yeah, watch the first 30 minutes. That's pretty much all the steps there together. Right. Let's run this through one more time. Playing T for time, 700. Up down on 700 seconds. Now stabilize a little bit. Ready, steady, go.
Capture started.
So hopefully this will tell us whether these new drivers are good ones or not. Mr. Free Time himself. All that free time you could have freed up the other night instead of playing the Wheel of Fortune. Nearly there. Almost there. Boom. And the clap to finish. Right, that should be it. Recovery X.
Capture finished.
Capture has finished. Right. Oh, for that, let's go and have a look. Let's have a look at the results. So, new latest Windows updates and latest Nvidia driver that came out an hour and 20 minutes ago. So what do we call it? What's the driver version? Remind me of the driver version. There we go. 581.42. 581.42. Run 1. Run 2. Right, and then we can compare to the previous drivers. So it's actually slightly better performance. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. The new driver is better than the old one. Look at that. That's actually quite decent lows bump. Let's double check that the temperatures were very similar. Wow, 17. That's really good. Yeah, much smoother, much better standard deviation. So before the standard deviation, so that's how much the FPS basically goes up and down. The bigger the number, the more it's going up and down, which is what you don't want. So temperature-wise, what am I looking at? Averaging GPU 33. So that's related to how the temperatures are ambient temperatures. So I had 33 in the last test and 34 in this one. So I'm actually running a whole degree centigrade higher ambient now than the previous test. So the test conditions on this previous run were actually better. CPU temp 37, 39, 30. Well, I'm saying that the CPU temps are better. 36 and 37. But the stuttering, that's as low as I've seen it, like 0.26, 0.25, so 0.23 is really good. But yeah, those average lows have come up nicely. So the best average lows I had there, 169, 168, and now they are 178. That's a decent bump. So I would recommend the new drivers, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, that's significantly above. So where you get these big drops like this, they're garbage collection, memory garbage collection in the Fortnite code. And whilst it's doing a garbage collection, it can't render any FPS. So the quicker it can do that, the lower the dip. So everyone gets these every 61 seconds. So the gap between there and there is 61 seconds, and the gap between there and there is 61 seconds. Or I don't know what's going on that one, but those are garbage collections. You can't do much about those. The only thing you can do to reduce those is have a better motherboard. And then it doesn't. Then it sort of VRMs. And then you got to spend like well over £1,000 on a new motherboard. So I'm going to stick with what I got. But yeah, that's quite a decent gap between the previous green one and the new brand new Nvidia GPU version there. That's decent bump. So I like that. I suppose I was running my previous pack 81 and I've updated to 82, but there shouldn't be masses of difference between the performance in those two. So I don't think you can account for that from my pack 81, 82. I think that's driver related. I think that looks driver related to me. 540. I've taken the CPU frequency down a little bit as well since then. Although you can see 5540 and the previous one was a bit higher. So maybe this was slightly unstable, potentially. Okay, I've just found two reasons that it could have been my tuning that did it, but it's definitely not any worse on the latest driver. There we go. We'll go with that. It's a good driver. So upgrade away. And I like the better standard deviation. I like that 17. That's nice. It's good. Anything else we can take from this? 36 to 39. So what I'll do is I'll probably publish this. What we'll do is put it on FPS, then we'll put on the extra information and take a screenshot and put it on my Discord. Fortnite benchmarks. New Windows update and new Nvidia driver. Oh. Yeah. You can go and check those out. That's in the public area, so you can go and have a look at those results. Go and have a look at that if you wish. I think we are done. Right, any more questions before we wrap it up? So we've updated Windows to the latest version. We've debloated it. We reran my scripts over the top. Then we updated Nvidia Drivers to the latest version that came out an hour and 28 minutes ago. We run debloated versions of those drivers as well. Reset up NVIDIA control panel, redid the disable dynamic P states. And then we tested everything. And that looks pretty good to me. Looks pretty good to me. I think that bit where it's just where I'm clapping. Straight line. Just the clapping. That's interesting. That's higher than that. It's quite rare that you see that. That's quite rare. Interesting, interesting. The GPU did downclock a little bit, didn't it? I think I might be running a slightly higher overclock on this environment than I am in my main gaming environment. It might be a little bit higher, actually. I think I'm running 165 and 1000, I want to say, in my main gaming environment. This is my test environment, obviously. I think I dialed it down a little bit, just to rule out some Fortnite crashes at the time. Yeah, it's downclocking a little bit, despite the fact it's incredibly cool. Right. Bum, 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 bum. Right, I think we're done, yeah? Nothing else to do? Everything looks good. Publish the results on the Discord. Go and check that out if you want to have a look. All the benchmate stuff looks fine. Y crunch is running where it should be. What else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah, 14.9, 14.8, about right. Cinebench, that was, what did I get? 55 on the other environment, wasn't it? 3,855. The important thing is knowing where your baseline is and then seeing whether things get better or worse. And if you've got an issue, you can quickly come back to this, check the results, and just make sure that they're where they should be. If you're experiencing horrible FPS drops and things in game all of a sudden, then these are really quick tests to run just to show whether your CPU's healthy and happy, or your GPU's okay, or your memory's stable. Just really, really quick tests that you can run just to check that whether it's the game, whether it's you need to clean out some shader cache, whether it's I don't know. So it's really useful knowing what your computer, where your typical baseline benchmarks are on a healthy day, so that you can compare them against when you're having issues. Find that incredibly useful. Anything else? Superposition is really useful for benchmarking your GPU. Just getting scores when you're overclocking as well. Make sure you don't get any artifacts. Make sure you don't get any crashes. That's very useful. It's funny. I was one of the first people to upload some benchmarking for superposition on YouTube. Now, when anyone ever runs this on YouTube, I get a copyright thing saying they're copying you. Do you want to sue them, kind of thing. It's like, no, it's not mine. I was just one of the first people to upload it. This is for keeping kind of, I know you can't see because it's very small over in that corner. See how many FPS you're getting, see where the lows are. Over the end, it will give you a score. But you're looking for kind of any juddering, you're looking for any artifacts, anything that looks off, especially crashes. So this is very useful when you're overclocking your GPU, as to say. Sorry, this is so loud. I suppose I could turn it down a little bit. Let me turn this. I don't think I should. Yeah, okay, I'll turn down a bit for you guys as well. There you go. That should be a bit quieter for you guys. Yeah, it looks pretty good from the stats so far. I mean, the average FPS is what, 437, and the minimum is 263. I've seen situations where it's unstable, and then the min FPS goes kind of down into, like, I don't know, 20s, 30s, 40s. So this driver looks alright. This is scene 12 of 17, so we're nearly done. It looks very smooth to me. I used to have a thing where, what was it? On G-Sync, at the beginning of the first scene of this, it always used to be very juddery if I was running G-Sync. If you turn G-Sync off and just go with fix refresh, it was then smooth. That was on my old gaming computer. This is not going through RTSS. That's the other thing. There's no RTSS profile for this. 17 out of 17, we should be done. You're going to score 56,503. I don't remember what I used to get on my 2080 Ti. Nowhere near that. Quite good, the 4080 Super. It'd be interesting to know what 5090 gets for this. Probably be a huge number. That looks pretty good to me. 6,503. Let me turn the game chat back up again now. I'm going to be complaining otherwise. Pretty much, that's fine. Up as well. So yeah, that's a good test. I think we're done. Anybody got any other questions before I wrap it up? I need to clean up in here. Wow. Will it make me better at the game? It makes me better at the game. Definitely. Frames win games, is Nvidia saying. Nvidia's catchphrase, frames win games. That out. Notifications, widget. Go. Yeah, I think we're done. Oh, the only other thing that might be worth running is my Windows clean file system on that. That will go out to the internet, check your Windows image versus a reference image on the internet, and fix any issues with packages it can see. And then after this, it will then check a file system and fix any file system issues. The only other thing that's worth running. Usually run this about once a week anyway. Miss Seska. Hello, hello. Well, I think we're good. So big thumbs up for the new Nvidia driver that came out an hour and a half ago. That looks good. Performance stats are all up. Gave up on your laptop after you reset it. Okay. Yeah, that thing had issues. I'm not a big fan of gaming on laptops. I know some of you out there like doing it because it's portable and easy, but that amount of heat should not be crammed into such a small case. That's what it boils down to. The GPU creates tons of heat. The CPU creates tons of heat. It needs a huge case with loads of airflow through it. The only thing you can really do with laptops is stick them on a cooling pad, but still it's still not as good as actually having some space around the actual hardware. Yeah, I will never buy a laptop for gaming. I know what I can do in the meantime. I'll show you my new website. That's it. Tell me what you think. I created this the other day. So I've done about a full day's worth of development on this now. So alexanderthedad.com. It's got testimonials from like Thieves and Rapper and Ship. It's got links to get to my Discord, and then it's got various sections. So who's the guide for? And it's got like flip boxes, gamers, streamers, serious players. It's got information on that. What you get in the guide and pack. All kinds of pretty. Then you've got like lifetime updates, reapply anytime, always up to date. You got kind of Discord community. So I've got basically who, what, when, where, and why. The 5 corners of any journalism, anything. So that's where, and then you got why at the bottom. You got kind of what I use to test all this stuff, like Nvidia Reflex Latency Analyzer, CapFrame X, testing in game, more kind of synthetic benchmarks and stability stuff. So I put that up. I think that's pretty good for like a day's worth of development. I put this website together. Yeah, it's pretty good. I was quite pleased with that. I will be adding like a Patreon interface, so people don't have to go via Discord and they don't have to use PayPal. At some point, I need to add those too. But you've got like social media, and yeah, I thought that was quite good. Not bad for a day's worth of work. Anything else? So it's done right. Yeah, so we did actually find some file system issues. Look, so found some corrupt files and successfully repaired them. So it's really useful, this tool, just for run it once a week and just cleans up anything. This environment's more subjected to potential file system issues, because if it crashes, which when I'm doing my memory overclocking, I'm kind of right on the edge, so I do tend to get crashes sometimes, then it doesn't kind of sync the file system as it's shutting down. So you do get these occasional issues with the file system, which this can fix. So it's worth running this occasionally. YouTube, I'm not sure who has access to this video, to be honest. I know that Twitch followers only have access to my VODs. I can't remember what I've set up for YouTube. I think anyone can access the live VODs, I think. I'm not sure. Right, I think we're done otherwise. Let's put everything back. MS info. Oh no, not that one. MS config. Let's put my dual boot back to how it was. So I've got 2 Windows operating systems on this PC. We're currently in the test environment. I'm going to set this one as the default, so I don't have to remember to select the default as I'm booting up, like that. And then restart. That should go into my main live gaming environment now, which we did at the beginning of this video. So the first 30 minutes of this video were me upgrading Windows, debloating it, rerunning my scripts, and then updating the Nvidia driver. That took about 30 minutes. So it's just the first 30 minutes of this video that you really need to kind of watch if you want to go through the same steps. Oh, that's not good. It's not good. Yeah, do check out my Discord if you want to get hold of the latest Nvidia driver as well. There's a link to it, because MV Clean Store won't have access to it yet. It hasn't been updated. You have to point MV clean store at the file that you have to pre-download with the link from the Discord. I should be on, I'm probably going to wrap it up in a sec, but I should be on for some games. No, 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. Depends how busy I am with other work and other stuff. So this is my main gaming environment. We did this earlier. That should be up to date. Shouldn't have a problem. Yeah, paused. Okay, I paused it for 5 weeks. So you whenever you do the Windows update, after you've finished everything, then just there's a little drop box here. Just choose pause for 5 weeks, and that way you're not actively running kind of downloads of new updates in the background while you're gaming. You then control when you want to actually update. So you can do it up to 5 weeks, which is useful. So it's paused until like mid-November then, which is cool. So that's all done. That didn't have a problem. Yeah, so I'm not really running much on this PC, on my main gaming PC. All I'm running is Afterburner to control the fans. I'm running Processor Sue in the background to stop other background apps using up too many resources. RTSS to cap my frames, and the Nvidia control panel. That's all I'm running in the background. Thank you, Belle, for the time. That's just donation to visit my laptop to debloat and optimize. Saying an hour. Don't answer, I have 6 ads. That's fine. DM me is the answer. The DM. Right, I think I'm done. I think we're good to go. Nice and fast. Yeah. Thanks, Belle. Why are you capping frames? Because if you match the frames to the frequency of the monitor, that optimizes the frame pipeline. So you get the most consistent frame times, which helps with muscle memory when you're aiming and moving and things. And just makes everything a lot smoother. So you want to match your FPS cap to whatever hertz of your monitor you're running. So I'm running a 480 hertz monitor, so I cap at 480 FPS. That will give you the smoothest gameplay. Here's the answer. My Elgato should be running, what you guys are seeing should be running at 60 hertz, but my main gaming monitor runs at... Right, I think I'm done. I'm going to go and do some real work. DM me if you've got any questions. Jump on the Discord if you've got any questions. Otherwise, I will see you guys in about 3 hours. Yeah, about 3 hours, I'd say. Thanks, Belle. Appreciate it, mate. All right. Thanks for the sub, Scott. I'm going to head off now. All right. Catch you guys a bit later. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, as I say, go back and watch the first 30 minutes if you want to see what I did to this environment in 30 minutes for updating Windows, debloating it, rerunning my scripts, updating Nvidia drivers. So that's the first 30 minutes of this video. Should be able to watch it on YouTube, or you can watch it on Twitch VODs if you're a subscriber. Yeah, good to go. All right, catch you later, guys. Bye for now.